Bill O'Reilly here. You are listening to the O'Reilly Update. Coming up next, the news with Mike Slater.
Thank you, Bill. It is Wednesday, May 10th, 2023. Here's what's happening today in America. Trump liable. CNN caves. JD with a bipartisan bill. And Tucker to Twitter. It's all coming up. Then Bill will be here with your message of the day. But first, a jury found Donald Trump defamed E. Jean Carroll and has to pay her $5 million in damages. Carroll is 79. She claims this sexual assault happened either 1995 or 1996-ish. She can't quite remember. But about 28 years ago. And you're thinking, well, what about the statute of limitations? Well, those are 6 years. That's long past. But the workaround is, if she claims he raped me and Trump says, no, I didn't, then that's defamation. That's why you'll hear the news talk about how he was found guilty of defamation. That's the defamation. I didn't rape her. Oh, defamation. Trump responded, I have absolutely no idea who this woman is. The verdict is a disgrace, a continuation of the greatest witch hunt of all time. Speaking of Trump, his first appearance on CNN in 7 years. The last time Trump sat down for a CNN event was in 2016. But tonight at 8 o'clock, he will be the feature of a town hall event in New Hampshire. Caitlin Collins will be the moderator. The CEO of Warner Brothers Discovery, which owns CNN, had to defend how they could dare think about having such a hateful monster on CNN. And he said, he's the front runner. He has to be on our network. He said, this is the new CNN. We'll see how the moderator does tonight. Will their bias be as obvious and as painful to watch as it was in the 2020 debates? J.D. Vance, he's the senator in Ohio. He has proposed the Railway Safety Act of 2023. Of course, he is the senator of East Palestine, Ohio, which no one cares about anymore. This was that small town that had that major train derailment. This bill would increase safety requirements for trains with hazardous materials. It is a bipartisan bill. Trump said he would support it as well. 40% of all long-distance freight is moved by train in this country. People who say we need more trains in America because we need to be more like Europe, they don't realize we have tons of trains. They just move things, not people. Tucker Carlson said he will host a new show on Twitter. But how's he going to make money? Well, I'm not sure. But Elon did just announce that Twitter will allow people to charge users for individual articles and videos that they post on the website. So they can charge people per click, or people can sign up for a monthly subscription. Twitter will take a 10% cut, but nothing for the first year. And these subscriptions can be long-form text and hour-long videos. I'm Mike Slater, host of the podcast, Politics by Faith. And the great Bill O'Reilly will be here with your message of the day next.
The chairman of the Fed is promising more pain ahead. Last year, stocks dropped 20%, and this year could be worse. You are right to be worried. So please call the only precious metal dealer I trust, American Hartford Gold. They'll show you how to protect your savings and retirement accounts by diversifying your portfolio with physical gold and silver. So please call today and they'll have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your IRA or 401k. Tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you, and they will give you up to $5,000 of free silver on your first order. Please call 877-444-GOLD, 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD GOLD to 65532. Again, 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Time now for the O'Reilly Update message of the day. On this Wednesday, another horrendous mass shooting over the weekend. This one in a shopping center near Dallas, Texas. At this point, the nation is almost numb to the slaughtering of innocents because it now occurs on a regular basis. There are three primary reasons for the carnage, which is most often perpetuated by young men. First, the John Wick culture. Here, mass violence is celebrated in movies and internet games. Troubled people are affected by the graphic visual killings, which are mainstreamed into entertainment vehicles. Second, the collapse of morality in America. Religion is being soundly rejected by the young, and public schools make little attempt to define right and wrong. In fact, Evil is basically ignored in our secular society unless Donald Trump is involved. And third is the failure to effectively punish violent people. Far-left politicians have torn down deterrence, and criminals have been emboldened everywhere. The violent mentally ill are subject to little scrutiny. Politically, the left is heavy into gun control, but not crime control. The cops are the problem, not the criminals. If you add those three up, you have a free fire zone for deadly violence. Pun intended. I'm Bill O'Reilly. I approve the message by writing it. You can reach me, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, name and town if you wish to opine. Now let's go to the mail. Catherine says, I'm losing faith that there is any hope for getting our country in functional shape. Our leaders are weak, many corrupt, the voting populace seems to vote thoughtlessly, and mass handouts do not bother them. I can't disagree with that. We're in a down cycle now. There's no doubt, Catherine. Robert, 36% may be a low number for Biden's approval, but considering how terrible he is at everything, completely ruining the country, 36% is still a lot of people who think he's doing just fine. It reinforces my belief that there are a lot of people out there who are idiots. Idiot, is that the right word? I'd say misguided and or apathetic. David, concierge member Bill, you just made the best argument as to why Donald Trump will not gain the nomination of the Republican Party with the final thought. He's constantly disrespected. If you buy into every little thing he's offended, which is near constant narrative. Yes, it's true. It's true. But he will, I think, get the Republican nomination unless something happens. Right now, I mean, it's a guess. I'm guessing. But he got a MAGA base that's way, way bigger than DeSantis' base, and there really isn't anybody else at this point. Mike Callanan, Phoenix, Arizona. It was shocking to me to see the polls you cited last night, and there are combined 43% of people that did not know Trump had a better economy than Biden. How did they look at gas prices and grocery store costs and not know that? Maybe they are idiots. That's a good question. In a moment, something you might not know. If you own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles and have an auto warranty about to expire or have no warranty at all, listen up. Car Shield has a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that's now available to the public. Save on out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. So please call Car Shield now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. 800-925-7584 for a free quote. This protection plan is at an all-time low in price. Drivers who activate the vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. So please call for your free quote, 800-925-7584, 800-925-7584. Hey, what do you have to lose? 800-925-7584. Now, the O'Reilly Update brings you something you might not know. 10 years ago today, agents of the IRS issued a formal apology for targeting conservative organizations. That statement ended a national controversy that began before the 2012 presidential election. Here is the story. Under federal law, certain nonprofit groups are allowed to file tax exemptions if they are engaged in, quote, civic projects. Beginning in March 2010, the IRS began scrutinizing and often denying organizations applying for tax exemption status using specific words and names. The IRS office in Cincinnati, for example, compiled a spreadsheet called BOLO, short for Be on the Lookout. That list included the groups containing the words Tea Party, Patriot, Constitution, liberty, freedom, Second Amendment, Bill of Rights. Flagged organizations were required to provide further documentation to the IRS, including the names of donors and the amount of money given. In total, 80 different groups were scrutinized or denied tax exemption status, almost all of them conservative. Now, the practice went public in early 2013 when 400 conservatives filed a lawsuit claiming the IRS violated their constitutional rights. A full audit was authorized by the Treasury Inspector. On March 10th, the IRS issued a formal apology. The person in charge of the Cincinnati agency's exemption division, Lois Lerner, released the following statement. Quote, "We made some mistakes. Some people didn't use good judgment. For that, we are apologetic," unquote. Said then President Barack Obama, quote, "If in fact IRS personnel engaged in the kind of practices that have been reported and were intentionally targeting conservative groups, then that's outrageous, and there's no place for it. They have to be held fully accountable." And here's something else you might not know. No one was held legally accountable. Just 3 senior officials of the IRS, including Ms. Lerner, resigned. An FBI investigation was conducted, but the agency found no evidence to warrant any criminal charges. Back after this.
Ad paid for by the Sentinel Group. Attention veterans, active duty military, civilians, and contractors. If you were issued earplugs between 1999 and 2015 and were diagnosed with hearing loss or ringing in the ears, you may be entitled to compensation. The manufacturer of these military earplugs recently paid $9.1 million to resolve claims that their earplugs were defective, potentially exposing service members to damaging sound levels that could have resulted in hearing loss or tinnitus. If you or a loved one were issued earplugs and were diagnosed with tinnitus or hearing loss, don't wait. You fought for this country, and our attorneys want to fight for you. Call 800-687-1936 now for a free legal consultation and to see if you may be eligible to file a claim. Time restrictions may apply, and you pay nothing unless there's a recovery in your favor. So call 800-687-1936 now. Again, 800-687-1936. That's 800-687-1936.
Thank you for listening to the O'Reilly Update. I am Bill O'Reilly. No spin, just facts, and always looking out for you.